Hi there, my name's Tom Price and I'm a Retail and Consumer Insight Analyst at AHDB. Here I'll be giving an update on red meat's performance over summer and I'll be looking at consumer attitudes as well. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop us an email. Lastly, looking at the general market sentiment at the moment. Versus last summer, the number of consumers claiming to be concerned about the cost of living crisis has dropped by 15 percentage points, which is positive. However, it still leaves 71% of consumers concerned about the cost of living crisis. And we were all hoping for a summer of sun and less rain than in 2023, which was a particularly poor summer in itself. But obviously we know that didn't happen, so we had 66.7 fewer hours of sunshine in June of this year compared to last year, and throughout the summer the rain didn't stop coming. And we've also seen that total food and drink occasions have been declining for a few years and are also down year on year. And we also saw big dips in occasions through June and July of this year due to greater out-of-home consumption, potentially as consumers were going out to eat to make use of the slightly warmer weather than was seen in the previous months. Yet August saw a peak for in-home occasions, and this could be because August is less sunny, so consumers could have been moving in-home more for their meals. Looking at consumer attitudes, consumers are more concerned about their health and fitness over summer. So health was at a 3-year high this summer, with 27.9% of total food and drink servings chosen for health reasons, which is up by 1 percentage point year on year. Now, breakfast was the key driver of this trend, with 28.5% of breakfast servings picked for health reasons, which has also increased by 2.1 percentage points year on year. So we can see here that people were keen to start their day by adding nutritional value to their diets this summer. And consumers are still focused on quick to prepare meals because the average amount of time it takes to cook an evening meal has been falling over the last few years and is now just 31 minutes in summer. And speed was at a 5-year high this summer, with 8% of total food and drink servings chosen for speed, which is up marginally versus 2020. And whilst ease of prep has seen a marginal decline year on year, it still accounts for a 15% share of total food and drink servings. So that's a large proportion. So consumers want meals that are easy to prepare and clear up. So overall, we can say that people now want quicker meals than ever before, alongside having good nutritional value this summer. And coming on to meat, fish and poultry performance within retail. So what we've seen is that meat, fish and poultry volumes are in growth, perhaps as consumers have more money to spend with the cost of living easing slightly, so with inflation slowing and wages growing slowly. So consumers are still eating red meat, specifically beef and lamb, despite the poor weather. Now both volume and price growth has driven overall spend growth for the market. So really we need to be moving past thinking of summer occasions just about weather, and I'll come on to ways we can do this in a bit. And coming on to the specific proteins that have driven this trend, all proteins have seen year-on-year volume growth apart from pork. So chicken has seen the strongest growth year-on-year at 3.3%, not only due to switching from other proteins, but also with existing shoppers purchasing greater volumes. Now this has been followed by lamb, which has seen a 2.7% volume growth year-on-year over the summer period, and lamb is seeing growth due to greater volumes purchased per shopper. Now this may be because we are now out of the peak of the cost of living crisis, so fewer people consider themselves to be struggling financially. So as a result, some people may be treating themselves to a more premium product, which will be driving lamb's growth. So we're seeing almost a divergence in the market, with both the value and premium tier products and proteins seeing good performance, whilst the middle doesn't see as great a performance, because pork volumes, well, they've been in decline, and these declines have outweighed beef and lamb volume growth due to pork's size of total red meat. So actually we've seen that red meat volumes have declined year on year. And across all the growing meats, so looking at beef as well, the common driver of this good performance has come from frequency of purchase increases. So we're seeing more shoppers more frequently go on shopping trips for these products. And then for meat-free, well, volumes have declined by 0.8% this summer due to a loss of shopper penetration, so it's not performing too well. Looking at the top growing cuts in the market, well, 6 out of the top 10 are chicken. Now we know chicken is a popular summer cut because consumers find it easy to cook, But also price is the key driver here, as 4 of these 6 chicken cuts are cheaper than the average price for total meat, fish and poultry. So price has still been a key purchase driver this summer, despite cost of living concerns easing. But price is not just important for chicken, because beef mince and chilled beef ready meals have also seen year-on-year volume growth this summer, and they are both cheaper than the meat, fish and poultry market average price. And this driver for good value for money is reflected in growth for the meat, fish and poultry category, being driven by promotions, with on promotions volumes sold growing by 14.7% year on year. So every protein, apart from lamb, has seen this growth come solely from on promotion products. However, off promotion volumes have struggled, so they fell by 3.7% year on year. And for lamb, this growth has been a long-term trend which has continued into the short term. So this growth is not just over summer, it's actually being seen over a longer period. Just looking at tier performance as well, whilst only accounting for 10.5% of total red meat volumes, premium tiers across all red meats have been seeing strong volume growth year on year, ahead of cheaper tiers like the economy tier. So with the cost of living crisis easing and some consumers having a bit more money to spend, not only are they treating themselves to more premium proteins, but also more premium products. So we can see that the average price for the red meat premium tier is £10.06 per kilogram, compared to the much cheaper average price for the economy or value tier products at £4.70 per kilogram. So consumers are still eating red meat and the higher tier products and the cheaper products, despite the poor weather. So they're actually cooking them in different ways, not just on barbecues. And finally, coming on to barbecues performance over summer, what we can see is that total barbecue occasions are down by 2.1% year on year, but compared to historical levels, so back to 2020, total barbecue occasions are down by quite a lot. So generally, they're in line with 2023 levels, but consumers are still having barbecues despite this drop in occasions. So on average, consumers are having 1 barbecue per person per summer. And this decline to barbecue occasions is not actually the end of the world, because as we've seen, consumers are still eating red meat, with both beef and lamb seeing volume growth over summer. They're still eating it despite the poor barbecue weather that we've seen over summer. And on average, barbecues only actually account for 0.81% of total lunch and dinner occasions, so it's not actually a large proportion. But it is important to link in with consumer health servings that they're looking for over summer. So we need to promote barbecues with a healthy serving on the side, so with something else like salad, to link in with those consumer motives for health over summer. Red meat share of barbecues has grown by just over 10 percentage points this year, which is a lot. So this has been boosted by burgers and grills, sausages and steaks. So within the meat, fish and poultry category, burgers account for the greatest proportion of barbecue occasions at just over 37%, followed closely by sausages and then steaks. And so burgers and grills, sausages and steaks have all seen their market share of barbecue occasions increase year on year, despite the decrease in total barbecue occasions. So now red meat remains even more important for barbecues, as its share of occasions has increased due to these cuts. And this shows that consumers are still cooking these products in home, maybe via their oven or hob, despite there being less barbecues overall, and despite consumers not going outside their barbecue when the weather's poor. So red meat increasing its share is visible across all protein types, and actually red meat is now more important than both chicken and fish. But the opposite trend is seen for meat-free barbecue occasions, which make up just 1.6% of total barbecue occasions, and have seen a substantial decline versus 2021. So there are some recommendations for the summer. So it's not all about the barbecue cooking method. So as an industry, we need to make sure that inspiration for red meat occasions over summer doesn't solely focus on barbecues. And so this would mean that barbecue ranges are used beyond the barbecue, so can be cooked via the hob or oven, for instance. So we need to ensure there's awareness, inspiration and confidence to cook these products indoors. And the weather is unpredictable, so the industry needs to communicate the versatility of red meat cuts if plans have to change, maybe because of the weather. And for red meat specifically, value for money continues to dominate, but value doesn't necessarily need to mean a lower price point. As an industry, we need to communicate the taste, versatility, health, and sustainability benefits of red meat. And tactical support works, but we need to ensure that there's inspiration for red meat where there's promotion gaps to ensure consumers purchase the products. And we need to continue to push and innovate the added value range, which has performed well over summer. Thank you for watching.